Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to Premier Sim Gaming Leagues, of course, PSGL. We are here for F2 action. It is round number 9 of the championship as we take in, of course, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix from the historic circuit. Could we call it a historic circuit? Of the Jeddah Corniche circuit. My name is James Head. I'm going to be taking you to the stream, as you can tell, by your only face-to-face commentator here tonight. Your lead commentator, as always, on F2. Joining me in the commentary box, because Evan Dalton has been nabbed by our head commentator, Jessica Ball, for F1. It is Mr. Otaku Logan. Logan, how you doing?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a face. Sorry, everybody. Headless. Yes, but it's great to be here in Jeddah, which is a historic country, not a historic circuit, because it's only been around for like, what, a year? And it's already going to get revamped, apparently, because they're going to have it for the World Touring Car Cup and have a shorter layout, so that'd be interesting to see. Hopefully it's better than this crazy layout, which is way too fast. The health and safety has fainted at the stats of this track. It's insane.
It is insane indeed. 27 corners, of course, awaiting our drivers out on track tonight. But we have to take, of course, what happened last week in Brazil. And it was a very interesting... In fact, it was 2 weeks ago in Brazil. Goodness me, we haven't been here the last 2 weeks, I can tell you that. Ricky, though, DNF'd. There was a huge collision at the start of the race there in Brazil. Ricky DNF'd. Frankie, in the end, only picked up second. And there is 1 point coming into it tonight between Ricky and Frankie. 68 points for Ricky out on top, and then Frankie in second on 67 points. Maybe the closest battle you will see in PSGL this season, which is going to be interesting. Thomas Esselman third on 43. Somehow, OP Ray, after getting promoted after round 3, is still fourth on 32 points, along with Nicole Soss and Luca Card also on 32 points. Nando in 7th on 27. Aroka in 8th on 25. Ron in 9th on 24, and then now up in 10th on 23. Then we've got Will Murdoch, who's actually not here tonight, Nuth, and Devon in the top 13, along with Blackbox and Dino ran off the top 15. Dino, by the way, absolutely blitzed them in Brazil last week, returning after a 6-race ban. Yes, you got that right, a 6-race ban. Blitzed the field, won by about 10 seconds, I think, in the end. Really intense battle for second, of course, in Brazil last week. So Dino's in the top 15. Could potentially mount a charge, dare I say, for the top 3 towards the end of the season. Have to wait and see how he goes. Stefano, Axe, Erpek, Alberto Fara, and Ari's the top 20. Firefox, Johan, Krypton, Jackson, Lorre, the 25 drivers that have so far scored points this season. Ricky leading the way over Frankie Logan coming into tonight. 1 point separating. What do we think is going to happen tonight in Jeddah? Because it is a very tight-knit street circuit.
Yes, indeed. Please do not make a mistake here, gentlemen. That's you, Ricky and Frankie. One mistake, it could ruin your championship chances. Just one mistake. So if even you go wide, you could just slide off and into the wall, out of the race, and then to Heartbreak Hotel, pretty much. Jeddah Street Circuit demands accuracy and consistency. The second longest track on the calendar before Belgium, at 6.174 kilometers. That's about 3.83 miles. 27 turns, and yet we're going through most of them at bullet speed, like a bullet train in Japan. It's insane. And we have a full grid in the lobby. Hooray!
Hooray indeed. Yeah, normally full grids here. There's quite a few reserve drivers actually filling in tonight. Normally, though, they are the drivers as we come to expect in F2. Constructor standings, by the way, as well, just before we get going, because it has just turned 7 o'clock, so we'll be getting going very soon indeed. McLaren leading the way on 100 points. Don't think they can wrap up the Constructors' Championship here tonight. I think there's 58 points still on the line coming into tonight, or after tonight even, for the top guys, obviously, in terms of the constructors. McLaren leading the way on 100, Alfa Romeo second on 83, Williams third on 66, Alpine in fourth on 49, Mercedes in fifth on 48, Haas in sixth on 35, AlphaTauri in seventh on 30, then Red Bull in eighth on 26, Ferrari ninth, along with Aston Martin also on ninth on 13 points. We'll have a quick rundown, of course, of the track map as well. There is the Jeddah Corniche circuit, 6.174 kilometres in length, 3.836 mile, and 27 turns, of course, awaiting the drivers out on track. Around a fish-like circuit, 3 DRS zones, of course, one down the start-finish straight, one down correctly now, down the back straight in towards turn 23, which is the left-hander, and then one again down in towards the final corner at turn 27, where Max Verstappen hit the wall famously in qualifying just last season. And obviously we had Hamilton versus Verstappen as well. The less we say about that, though, the better. Jeddah, though, tonight, very tight-knit street circuit. These drivers, I feel, are going to make a few mistakes out on track.
Yes, they will, but they've probably been training a lot of this, and even then they can make mistakes, but it's all down to tonight. As we said, one mistake could cost you everything, and these drivers are just going to have to find that groove that leads them to victory, hopefully. I should mention this track. I have to say, no offense, looks like a tadpole got electrocuted. It does. It looks like a tadpole electrocuted. If you just rewind to the map, it's just... you could say many things about it. I've called it a spoon being bent 6 times. I've called it some things I can't say on TV. Everything. And we're about to begin the session. Everyone in the pits, obviously. As we wait to begin here tonight. Of course, they'll look like we're going to be doing softs. Of course, if you haven't forgotten, they don't have to start on the tyres to set the fastest lap in the top 10. It's a free choice at the race start. I'm quite interested in how this qualifying session is going to be. Are you, James?
Yeah, I think, honestly, to coin a famous film, I think there's going to be Fast and Furious, potentially, in terms of this qualifying session. It is going to be all pretty much hands on deck in terms of the qualifying. Thomas Settle, by the way, is the first man out on track. I, by the way, have not got a name for number 18, the Alfa Romeo, I think, the second Alfa Romeo that has just joined. Not sure who that is. Black box. Okay, yes. Black box. At least it's only one driver, and it's not the whole field, so I can actually recognise who that might be, instead of calling him the Invisible Man out on track. Thomas Settle, though, the first man out on track. He's up there, of course, in terms of the championship standings, fighting out currently for that 4th position. The Williams, of course, out on track. My first experience, actually, of commentating around here in Jeddah on this game. Thomas Settle, though, the first man out on track, has put in some decent performances this season so far. How do you rate his chances coming into tonight?
Yes, I'm just looking at his stats right here. Wait, I can't find his name, sorry. Oh, Thomas Settle, there we go. 43 points, yes. 2 podiums, no wins yet, though. Hasn't had a great run. Did get pole position in Imola, but of course, that went horribly wrong as he scored absolutely nothing, but scoring the fastest lap. And then, of course, DNFing last week, but... you never know, he could have a reversal of fortune. 2 weeks ago, he had a break. He had a reversal of fortune here. Could he get his first one tonight? If he does, and Ricky and Frankie make a lot of mistakes, you never know, he could get back into this championship race. This is the chance now. This is his chance to get back up there into the title race. If he doesn't make it tonight, then his chances will just fade away gradually, and I hate to say it, could be game over.
It could be game over, but we'll see this lap coming through turn number 1 and 2, through the right-hander there of turn 2, through the left-hander of turn number 3. May miscount these corners, by the way, as we go along, so don't be surprised if I do. Through turn 4, through turn 5, and then out into the S section. A little bit caught on the curb there through turn number 5. Now through 6, 7, 8, coming at you really quickly, these corners, and he's already invalidated Thomas Settle coming out of turn number 8. That is a pinch point, of course, on the circuit that I will refer to a little bit later on. Thomas Settle, though, was a 32.1 in the first sector. Not sure who the second guy is out on track. I'm just going to go on board with anybody that might be furthest on. Now it was invalidated. Krypton is coming through the first sector as well in the Red Bull. I think there's a Ferrari up there as well. Stefano, I think that might be. 32 flat, though, from Krypton on this lap now, coming through the left-hander of turn number 13. And pretty much this track could call it the Temple of Speed, technically, obviously coining the phrase there from Italy, from Monza. Krypton, I think, can take this lap, as I think facts suggest 78% of this lap can be taken at flat-out speed. That's pretty much on par with the Temple of Speed, of course, in Monza. Now Krypton coming down through turns 19, 20, through the right-hander at 21, and then into my favourite series of corners, out on track with a 1 minute point 4 in the middle sector. Krypton now through 22, through 23, through 24, through the left-hander 25. We're going to get to the end of the lap eventually, I think, in terms of this. It is an absolute age away in terms of the corners. Through 26, as Firefox goes quickest with a 28.3. Krypton, though, in towards the final corner at 27. Stefano, 27.6, now goes quickest by around 0.8 of a second. And now Krypton on the run to the line. I think he's going to put a middle to diddle on the run towards the line here. Krypton, 27.7, puts him into second, and only a 10th of a second off Stefano.
Only a 10th of a second off Stefano indeed, but I'm sure if the rubber going down on the track, it will decrease those times drastically, as I'm trying to look for any drivers on a lap. I think Jake Marsh is about to finish in lap. Harris third. Never mind, Jake Marsh is going to go into third, yes. What was I going to say? I forgot, oh dear. This is what happens when you're on commentary. Sometimes you're lost for words. I should mention any other driver, CC Brain going up the top with a 27.6.
Oh.
And then I do believe it's Noof starting his lap soon. What's just happened?
2,000th of a second. CC Brain and Stefano actually for first and second. Yeah. Ricky is on the run to the line. The Shazoo man, the McLaren, pops himself down in 10th. 28.2. I know he's only 6 cents up. Nando now goes quick as he has joined OP in recent days. Congratulations, by the way, Nando, if you do watch this a little bit later on. Nando has been promoted to Outplayed Racing. Axe just left the session, which is a little bit concerning. Aroka's in the pit lane. That's not how you take the pit lane. Aroka coming in the pits there. And Tomasetto is on the run toward the line as well. He's actually run out of his ERS. Firefox not on the lap. I think that might be the first lap potentially done. Nando out on top, Stefano in second, CC Brain there in third. Nando has had a history of going well in qualifying. Imola 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago I should say, Nando did very well. I think he was on the front row of the grid that day with 27.5, currently topping the session with around 5 minutes gone.
5 minutes gone here at Jeddah as Noof seems to be the only driver on a lap. Of course, Noof has won F4 before in a few seasons back. In a dramatic race in Japan, he clinched the title after a load of punctures. I was there to see it. You can hear the full story in my latest TED Talk.
Looking
yes, sorry.
I was going to say, looking through the comment section, by the way, good evening to everyone that is tuning in. 34 of you currently that is tuning in. Evan Dalton, who's been promoted to F1 here tonight. This just feels weird, even when I'm not there. Your puns are hideous, James. I think he might be trying to snap some, potentially, for a little bit later on F1. Of course, you can catch him and Jessica Ball, of course, for F1 at 8 PM UK time. The best of the best of the PS platform will be happening then. First guy's now out on track. I think Noof has just come onto a lap as well. He's coming through the middle sector, actually, the FEL man. Normally up there in terms of his pace. I know he's been doing quite well in other leagues that I've been doing in recent weeks. WR especially, he's been quite good there. And the LP now coming to the final corner on the run to the line. Hopefully he doesn't come in the pit lane. As Noof now runs toward the line. Might put it into 7th. Oh, he goes 4th. 27.735. Good lap by Noof. And Alpine 1st and 4th currently.
Yes, indeed, they are. Alpine 1st and 4th. They're putting out a great performance. I am having problems trying to get up. Never mind, I was trying to get above Firefox in the cameras, but it didn't want me to for some reason. Of course, Firefox down in 14th, trying to do as good as Google and Microsoft Edge. Sorry, wrong Firefox. Yeah, Firefox down in 14th. Remember, there is 10 minutes to go. I'm sure he'll get a better lap out there soon. No drivers on a lap right now, as I just said, but I do believe some drivers like, who's that? Ace is, who just rejoined the session, I do believe, is about to make his way and start our second run of laps, and behind him is Nico Sots. That's how you pronounce it. I do apologise if I've mispronounced it. As Ace is about to begin his next lap. For some reason it says he's done a 2 minute 44 across the line. That is obviously wrong. I don't think it's the same for you, but yeah, it just says 0 laps before it even crosses the line. I don't know why it does that.
Yeah.
But can't really help that.
It's a timing glitch.
Yes, it's a timing glitch. It's been like this for a while, but there's not much we can do. We have no power. Our job is to commentate on the action that happens in front of us. Oh my goodness, Axie just touched the corner completely. I'm sure he's going to have to invalidate that lap himself. It's on. It's normally good sportsmanship. If you go off track and it doesn't catch you, then you have to abandon the lap. I've seen drivers, like one driver in Austria went across the grass, across the finish line, didn't invalidate, and he got the pole position time, and yeah, he got a big penalty for that because it was very bad sportsmanship.
Axie through the middle sector. I'm on board with this lap, and 1 minute point 2 in the middle sector. He's 2.5 tenths up. That coming out of turn 11 though, obviously cost them, I think, around a tenth of a second. So potentially this could be a lot quicker than what he's actually going on at this stage. The FER man, it is going to be a very close qualifying session, by the way, but Axie is the first man now around the final corner on the run to the line. A CC Brain has now left the session. Hopefully he can get back in. Axie there on the run to the line. 27.7. Oh, 27.829 goes into 6th position. Now to 7th because the Kosos has just gone second. Good lap time from him. The FMD man there in second. Tomasetto has just gone into 3rd as well. Stefano's down on a lap. Krypton is invalid invalidated. Axay is obviously just completed. Jake Marsh, a certified goat there in the comment section as well, says Jake. He is on the run down in towards the right hand of turn number 2. Alberto Vare's on a lap. Aries is invalidated as well. And Dina was spun and just reset the track coming through turn 13.
Yeah, don't reset to track in the race. That's against the rules. I think it's fair game here because you're not gaining anything, I believe. But I should mention, yeah, it's getting very close up there. 3 drivers in the 27.5s and counting, I suggest there's probably going to be more drivers. Stefano is invalidated. That is unfortunate. That means he will have to go again. Nando Jr. Fittingly in the Alpine, but I hope he goes for an Aston Martin next season. Well, what's just happened?
Ricky was so close to going up on the curve, coming through 22 and 23. He was fine through there, 28.2. He's slightly down on what we saw, obviously, with Axay's lap time, so I don't expect him to try and trouble the top end of the field, unless he's got a jet-propelled car in that McLaren, as Black Box now goes 4th, the mysterious man on our graphics. He goes 4th there, and now Ricky on the run to the line goes 3rd. That was a huge final sector from Ricky, gained 0.4 of a second in that final sector alone, and look at how close the top 4 are. In fact, the top 5 are covered by less than 1/10 of a second. Nando out on top. Nicole Sauce, Ricky, Tomasetto, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, all covered by 0.008 of a second. This is qualifying in Jeddah, and that is just immediately being beaten by Now, who produced the 27.4.
Where did that come from? I was gonna say 4 drivers in the top 4 being 27.5, slim margins, and then that comes out of the bag out of nowhere.
Yeah,
What
really.
kind of magician is this? What kind of magician is that? Unbelievable.
Really strong lap, I think, from Now. 27.4. He has been producing very good qualifying. Ari's on a lap as well. He's kind of coming through the middle sector. The AlphaTauri again getting caught in that curve through 23, through the left under 24. Through 25, there's a yellow flag just ahead of him. I think that might be Devon that's potentially gone. And Frankie, I think you just mentioned that, has gone 2nd as well.
Yes, Frankie goes 2nd over 4.68, so that's 2 drivers in the 27.4s. The times are falling, and they're going to even fall further once we get around. Ara's coming into the pits. I just thought there was going to be some action there, but
ooh,
CC Brain there as well. He's going on another. No, I think this is his outlap. Yes. Please ignore the timing sheets.
I'll tell you something. Nuth has just gone, I think, purple in the first sector. 32 flat in the first sector. 3.5 tenths up on his current lap time. The German now is here and here to play in Jeddah. To sub 1 minute in the middle sector. No, he's 2.5 tenths up still. Through 22 and 23. Much cleaner than what we saw from other drivers. This is going to gain him 1/10 of a second if he was quick through there before. Now out on top, Frankie in 2nd, Nando in 3rd. Nando, though, goes quicker. 27.2. Didn't even see him on the lap, so I do apologise. There's a car off through turn 27. I think that might be Black Box just getting out of the way. Nuth goes around the final corner. On the run to the line. Can the German now trouble towards the line? Here comes the FPL man on the run to the line. Goes 4th, 27.486.
And it wouldn't have probably mattered. He probably could have got 2nd or 3rd, but it definitely wasn't beating Nando Jr., who is on top form right now. 27.25. Good luck trying to beat that, boys. That is quite a ridiculous lap. Just for reference, let me check Max Verstappen's lap. Not Max Verstappen, Perez's lap.
What a huge first sector that is from Stefano. Sorry to cut you off, Logan. 31.8 in the first sector from Stefano. Purple out of everyone. He is absolutely gunning it through the middle sector now. Coming through as there's a car parked on the right-hand side there, and he blocks up. Stefano makes a mistake in towards turn 15. Stefano makes a mistake and lock up into 15 and 16. That is him done in terms of this lap anyways. That was a huge first sector, though. If he produces a sexy first sector like he did there, he might be on for pole.
I never knew we were allowed to say sexy on screen, but Black Box is coming across the line, and he will go 9th. Let me see, who else is on a lap? Kryptonite. Let's see if he has the Krypton factor. Yes, I had to reference 80s game shows. I'm sorry. No, he's coming to the pits. He's heard my horrible puns of game shows, and he's coming to the pits. I am never going to make any Krypton Factor jokes again. I'm just going to do the assault course myself.
Tom Roberts, by the way, in the chat saying, for someone who doesn't know Black Box, it may sound like you're just describing the Black Box where his name should be. Yeah, that's a good joke.
I was going to make that joke. I was going to make that joke. I had that cue. You're sad, Tom. You are sad. and Nico sort of had fun on his lap. That's not what he wants to do. Thankfully, he's ghosted, so he hasn't bothered Jake Marsh, who was on red lap anyway.
And Rocket was good through the first sector that he backed off though, coming through turn 11, and it's a 32-1 on the first sector. If he had more commitment through that first sector, that would have been 31.8 sort of stuff. And again, coming out of turn 13, and Rocket doesn't seem too happy. I'm not sure if he's actually backed off his lap. I know he's got a very low fuel line. I can definitely tell you now he's backed off that lap because he's hit the wall coming through turn 16, and now through 17, and he's invalidated indeed. Jake Marsh, I believe, is on the lap as well. He's on the run to the line. In fact, he's on the run to the pit lane, and Dino is coming through the first sector as well. Of course, won last time out in Brazil, now up against it here tonight in Jeddah. Perfect though through the chicane of 11 and 12, and he's another one though that has backed off through the first sector. So Dino backing off. Firefox has just gone into 9th as well, 27.6, and more outlaps to come from the likes of Axe, Crypt, and CC Brain, and Tomasetto. And I'm not sure who out of these four is actually furthest on a lap. I think it is Tomasetto.
Yeah, just to mention, the pole lap for this year's Saudi Grand Prix was a 1:28.200. So Nando is already 9.5 tenths better than Checo. Just hire these guys and replace Mick Schumacher with Nando. He will just blitz the field. But no, that's not how it works. This is a video game, of course, and yeah, we're not gonna have the cars are equal as well, so they're probably better than the real life counterparts. So Yarn what we would put it. There we go. We've got 2 minutes left.
Tomasetto's just starting his lap in towards turn number 1 as well. 27.577, 3 thousandths of a second off our current leader in the championship, Ricky. Frankie, his title rival, currently up in 3rd. What can Tomasetto do? Of course, he's 4th in the standings, coming into tonight on 43 points. Now comes the left-hander, and he's hit the wall already through turn number 4. That is how close you can get to the wall without really hitting them. In that case, Tomasetto did hit the wall. He is done now in terms of his session. 1:27 to get through. He should be fine, as long as he plays with around 20 seconds or so. If he's slowing that down, and there's lots of traffic behind him, which there isn't really out on track, and if he slows 20 seconds, that's his qualifying done.
Yeah, that will be his qualifying done. We've got a couple of, please ignore the yellow flags, that's usually just cars backing off. Apparently Ron's done 5.5 minute laps on this game, which is impossible because he's already come out of the pits. Let's see, who is about to cross the line?
Axie's on the lap, yeah. 27.8 currently. The Haasman on through 26 and 27. He was actually the furthest on a lap. He's got a little bit of traffic ahead of him, and he's slightly lagging a bit. That was good through turn 27 though. Axie now on the run to the line. Might put it up towards Newton, the coastal sort of area on the run to the line. Oh, look at that. He goes 5th. 27.545. Call me Mystic James. Frankie on the run to the line as well is on a huge lap. He was on that lap. He's across the line just to stop his lap. Oh, Nando now up all and going on laps as well. Just trying to flick on board. I think CC Brain was coming towards the end of his lap as well. And he's 2.5 tenths up now, coming through 26 and 27. Nearly runs into the Haas there. On the left-hand side, there was a Rocket just backing out the way. So Rocket got enough time to get a lap in. He's got 8 seconds around the final corner. That's going to be really close for a Rocket. I don't think he's actually going to get enough. Yeah, CC Brain on the run to the line. Frankie is out on the session on through the first sector. CC Brain on the run to the line, goes 2nd. Very good lap time from him. Now up 31.8 in the first sector. Nando down in the first sector. Now coming through the middle sector through turn 16 and 17. So we'll see what Nando can do. The newly promoted OP man for Outplayed Racing. Is he going to try and outplay the field in terms of this middle sector? Nando 27.2. CC Brain 2nd. Now up there in 3rd. Black Box is on the lap as well. Further down the field, Nando though, purple middle sector, 101 at 1 minute point 1, but he's invalidated. And now up now through the middle sector is a 10.5 up. Is this now up's potential chance for pole position? Needs to find 200ths of a second. The Williams now on the run to the line. Is it going to be a 27.1 from now up on the run to the line? No, he goes short by 1700ths of a second. For now, Nicholson's on the lap as well. He's a 10.5 up. He's now coming through the middle sector. There's other drivers on the lap. Black Box is backed off. Firefox and Stefano, I think, are also coming towards the line as well. We're on above with Nicholson. He's 700ths up in the middle sector. Not really troubling the front field. And he's certainly not troubling now because he's in the wall.
He's in the wall. And he's lost his complete front wing. And he retires from the session, unsurprisingly. I think that's it. Well, Firefox. He's down on his time, so that's it. Nando Jr. impresses, well, his alleged father, apparently, and gets pole position here in F2 at Jeddah with a time that blows Checo's time in the real world out the water, 27.25. Now Warp just 17 frames short. CC Brain, who's yet to score, gets just over half a tenth behind Nando Jr. and Stefano up there 4th. Wow, that was an interesting end to the session.
Really interesting end to the session indeed. Top 4 though covered by a 10th of a second, and there's Nando out on top from now up there in 2nd. CC Brain currently there in 3rd, with Stefano obviously in 4th. Frankie there in 5th, ahead of his championship rival Ricky, who's down in 9th. I'll come to him in a little bit. Nuth there in 6th, Axe in 7th, Nicosos there in 8th, Ricky in 9th, and then Devon round off the top 10. Tomasetto in 11th, Black Box there in 12th, Firefox 13th, Aries 14th, Alberto Vare 15th, Ron 16th, Krypton 17th, Jake Marsh in 18th. Looked good until he invalidated his lap times. Dino there in 19th, last week's winner, and a rocker right down the back of the field didn't get a lap time in. Everybody in at least the 127s, which is really good to see. We are going to be back after this slight intermission break. We are going to be back then in 30 seconds. We'll see you on the other side.
Try these things.
Welcome back, everyone, to Premier Sim Gaming Leagues, of course, PSGL, here for F2, 20 seconds until the race start. And you were saying just before we came live there about the potential strategies that everyone's going to be on.
Yes, in F2 there was no F1, of course, because apparently the FPS thing and esports is more important. It looks like it's going to be a medium hard or hard medium strategy, but let's see what happens. Remember, no formation lap. You do the honours, James.
Here we go. 5 red lights coming on in Jeddah. Round 9 of the championship. Nando on top. Alongside him now up and across the light tunnel. Here we go. Nando leads the way down in towards turn number 1. CC Brain is also getting through and now up around the outside through turn number 1. Nando holds the lead. CC Brain now in 2nd. Had a cut across the grass there, coming through turn number 2. Or cut across the curb, I should say. Through turn number 2. Frankie there on the back and now up, getting side by side with Stefano. Think everything's clean through in the background. Axe is lagging slightly there in 6th. Now coming through the mid-pack though. Everyone looking clear. Aries and Firefox, 2 teammates are fighting side by side. The AlphaTauri and the Aston Martin, I should say, are fighting side by side. They're just losing a little bit of time there to Blackbox, who's led in 11th. He's gained a position off the start. Nicole's there on the back of Nuth. A Rocker's dropped down the back of the field as well. Nicole's on the back of Nuth in towards turn number 13. Not getting the job done. Do the first half a lap though. CC Brain out on top. Nando out on top. CC Brain now in 2nd. But CC Brain set a medium compound tyres on that car, going now to potentially get this race lead on the first lap. Devon fighting side by side there with Ricky further down the field as well, with Tomasetto and Firefox, the 2 Italians going side by side. But CC Brain trying to hunt down Nando, 4/10 of a second, already beginning to close on him in towards turn 22.
Yes, indeed, but the disadvantage is, of course, he will have to fit earlier than the hard runner, so it's going to be interesting to see how he does with that. But 3/10 the gap now. I should say the biggest winner in terms of positions is
he's going to go for it.
3 positions from 19th. Oh, he's going to make this look easy. He's going to go right in the inside of the final turn and just takes the position, snatches the lead.
Oh, he puts down the wall!
Yeah, he pushed him into the wall, and now Norton's behind and looking for a shot at 2nd place as well. And he comes the line for lap number 2. Here he comes, going into the first corner. It's going to be side by side.
On the outside.
Taking it to the outside and then to the inside. Oh, and
my God!
And there's an incident there involving Axe.
Yeah, Alberto Vare, I think. Yeah, sorry, actually got caught up in that. CC Brain, by the way, had a huge moment coming out of turn number 1 in the lead of the race. He's now 9/10 clear. Nando there in 2nd, now up in 3rd. And then the wall, Black Box and Ricky and Firefox and Ron and Krypton and Tomasetto have all been caught up in a collision. That's only a VSC. Surely that is a full safety car. Not even sure what happened. There's the full safety car coming out on track. Full safety car, indeed, yeah. A Rocker, by the way, avoided that. It's Ron in the walls. Firefox, Black Box, Tomasetto and Krypton. Somebody obviously spun. the ghosting system hasn't come into effect, and then somebody has just caused an absolute murder here in Saudi Arabia. I shouldn't really say that, given the country's record of human rights, but still, somebody has honestly committed a crime there, and that will be investigated, of course, by the stewards.
War crime, that is. Ricky, the championship leader, is out on only lap 2 of this race here in Jeddah, the third to last race of this season, and so that gives Frankie the chance to capitalize and take a possible 16-point lead and the chance to win it all in Austin. It's getting this tense now. Frankie down in 4th. At this rate, he will have 7 points lead over Ricky, and Tomasetto, his chances are in jeopardy as well, as he's down now in 18th place and 7 positions down. Yes, go on.
Dino in the pit lane, he must have got caught up in that contact as well. Alberto Vare, Jake Marsh, all in. Black Box, I think, avoided that. He continues on. All the rest, apart from Krypton, are into the pit lane. So Alberto Vare, a Rocker, Jake Marsh, Firefox, Dino and Tomasetto, I believe, have been caught up in the same collision. They're all into the pit lane, and I think it's Dino that's going to come out potentially first out of this pack, because the Haas just coming out ahead of him, that's a Rocker. Dino, though, had right side end plate damage on the car. Alberto Vare, I think, had left side end plate damage on the car. Same with Jake Marsh. Tomasetto, I think, lost his front wing entirely, and Firefox back in the pit lane, I think he had damage as well. Right side end plate damage potentially on the car. CZ Brain, though, leads the way. Nando in second, now up in third position. Change at the end of lap 1. Was going to say Dino gained the most positions. He was up 8, but now down to 4 positions gained. Rocker has gained 6, though. He's gained the most out on track so far. Devon on 3, Aries on 5, along with Ron also on 5, and Dino on 4. Krypton on 4, Jake Marshall gaining 1, along with CZ Brain and Frankie, who have gained 2 and 1, respectively, out on track. Big C saying rubbish drivers there in the chat. That's coming from the owner himself, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, be interesting to see how Big C might get on around this track as well. Ivan saying in the comments section as well, 2021 race recreated, at least some parts of it. And Evan Dalton saying, clicked off and have seemed to miss chaos. Yes, that is what happens when you should be focusing on F2 rather than focusing on F1.
Yes, F1 doesn't start in 30 minutes, by the way, and yeah, Big C saying rubbish drivers coming from a former esports driver. That's quite a statement. So we are probably going to get started next lap. I do think Firefox, the safety car is still staying out, still got the lights on, so we will be going on lap 5, not lap 4, as predicted. So CC Green still on the medium tyres, but he's no longer the lone wolf. We've got 4 drivers that have also went on to the medium tyres. A Rock has went into the hards, and Jake Marsh is now the lone wolf on red wall tyres. He's playing for blood, you could say, with those red wall tyres. No, he's coming again, actually. I think he's just exploiting the loopholes here, where you have to use both compounds, the mandate, of course, which has been forced longer than the mass mandate for COVID-19.
Jake Marsh in the pit lane. Set of hards. I'm not surprised actually he's gone to a set of hards. They can try and make it towards the end of the race. Tomasetto has done the same. He's also onto a set of hard compound tyres. And for me, I think I've commentated around on this game before. I think it was in WOR, if I'm not mistaken. I was commentating around here, even though I said earlier on I hadn't commentated around this track. I think WOR went around there towards the start end of the season. In fact, no, they weren't. League was I commentating. I think it was a social race or something. And hard compounded tyre are probably the best tyre to be on. Mediums normally you associate with this track, but the mediums are too cold basically to try and get warm. Softs only last around 3 or 4 laps around here, and the mediums only last around 8 or 9 laps. So you've got to try and obviously go for a set of hard compounded tyres as early as possible, I think, in this race, putting in around lap 7, lap 8, lap 9 sort of area. But CC Brain out on top, Nando in second, now up there in third. Frankie then fourth. But the big story, if you are just tuning in, of course, is our championship leader, Shazoo Ricky, out of the race, getting caught up in a collision coming through turns 5, 6 and 7. And obviously, all hell, I think, broke loose there with the Rocket, Dino, Alberto Vare, Firefox, Jake Marshall, Tomasetto, all getting caught in that same instant as well. The safety car, though, should be coming in this lap. I think it'll be coming in at the exit of turns 23, I think.
Yes, it will be. I should mention, by the way, it is a Mercedes 1-2 if you count the safety car. Not anymore, because the safety car is pulling away and will be in this lap. So CC Brain is on his own, rallying up the drivers with his invisible lasso and ready to get going once again. And you can see, look how much he's backing the pack up. When is he going to drop the throttle? That is the million-dollar question. He's just doing it nice and slowly before possibly getting to pull the throttle at turn 27. We'll have to see if he does that indeed. So here we go, waiting patiently for the restart. Here we go. He's going right to the edge.
Nando's going to be right on the back of him here.
Yes, he is going to be right in the back of him. And here he goes, we're underway once again. And look, there's already a couple of openings opening up. Look at Frankie and the Warp and Nando right in the back of each other. Lap 5 begins. Crossing the line now. You can go for everything.
Oh, now Warp!
Drivers leave it. Now Warp goes on the outside. Goes, tries what he did on the second lap. Goes on the outside and then the inside. Still side by side heading through. And it looks like everyone's got through the first few corners clean. And Nando has somehow managed to hold on to second place.
Krypton's just made contact there with Black Box, send him out wide, coming through turn number 4 and 5, halfway down the field, and CC Brain spun at the lead of the race! CC Brain ran at the lead of the race, has spun, and he's lost his front wing as well! An absolute disaster from the former TTG man. The German now out of the lead of the race, has now spun, coming through turn number 8 and 9, must have got caught on the curb coming through there, and CC Brain from first to last in a lap, so unfortunate, and now Nando leads the way, now up in second, Frankie in third, these two, by the way, have battling as well with Ron and Axe further down the field, side by side. Ron has got the move done on Axe coming around the outside of turn 16. Beautiful move there by Ron. He's into 9th, Axe there into 10th. Stefano, though, on the back of Frankie, championship elect leader, is there in 3rd. Stefano, though, is on the back and he wants to try and make him pay. Coming out through turns 22 and 23. Nando leads the way, now up in 2nd. Now up in Nando, by the way, did have a battle 3 weeks ago in Imola, and they ended up, I think, both on the podium that day as well. They were certainly battling in that race, that is for sure. Stefano, though, not on the back of Frankie, and Axe still going side by side with Ron around the outside and toward the final corner at turn 27. Passing the statues off to the left-hand side. Axe gets a good run. Ron gets the better run, though. And the remain as they are, as Ron stays 9th, and then Axe there in 10th. And now, coming down the straight, Firefox right on the back of Tomasetto. Not going to be getting the move done, and everyone now settling down into their rhythm. CC Brain now into the pit lane after spinning, coming through the S section of the first sector. Nando leads the way, now in 2nd, Frankie in 3rd, and absolute, for the most part, really good lap, apart from CC Brain in the wall.
Yeah, honestly, CC Brain has no luck. He still has no points to his tally, and this was his big chance to get on the board, and it's all gone horribly wrong once again. In Jeddah, in fact, any track like this, the fortunes of a driver can change very, very quickly indeed, and that last lap just showed Nando already 9/10 clear, trying to break away from DRS range to the dismay of the Warp, and Frankie also starting to lose ground on the Warp as well. We could have a DRS-less top 3, and what has
Black Box.
happened? Black Box
Made a mistake.
been battling with Dino, or Dino, I don't know how you say it, but apparently it's Dino, as you make your way through the final chicane before the final few turns. Black Box, of course, you can't really see his name because
Side by
it is
side.
literally a black box. Side by side we have Alberto Barry and Kryptonite for 13th. And up here we have Nuke right in the back.
Oh my goodness me! Tomasetto down the inside of Barocca coming through turn 27 through the final corner. That was absolutely brilliant on the brakes from Tomasetto. If he pulls this one off, I'm going to give him a 5, I think, after this. Tomasetto has absolutely pulled off the best move when he goes too deep in towards turn 1, and that is why commentator's curse exists here. Tomasetto, though, that move in towards turn 27, the final corner, watch that back, because that was brilliant. He got up so late on the brakes, I thought he wasn't going to get the car stop. I thought he was going to cascade into him, and then he's gone too hard on the brakes in towards turn number 1, and then just absolutely ruined his good luck that he was having there, as Dino was right on the back of Axe through the first sector.
Yeah, sorry if I blew anyone's eardrums out there. That was quite unexpected, says he. Tomasetto being too eager, too late on the brakes, and paid the penalty. He goes back down to 18th, undone all that hard work. Kryptonite is starting to lose ground too. He's just being passed by in a battle with Jake Marsh. Actually, he's pulled ahead briefly for a second,
no!
and loses it again.
Oh, brilliant!
My Actually, did he?
He did.
Yeah,
Jake Marsh
fine,
pull off the move.
fine. Apparently, he doesn't have to give it back. And Black Box, there's moves happening everywhere, James. And I can't keep up with them. Dino has passed the act safe for the final points paying position. A Black Box has been passed by Alberto Vare, who is on the mediums, so much faster indeed. Kryptonite's losing position to Jit. It's the Wacky Races! Welcome to the Wacky Races. Sorry for steering your line.
Terrible. You're seeing everything of mine tonight. Nando leads the way now up there in second. Frankie in third. He's catching in towards turn one. He's obviously not going to be close enough, though, further down the field. Dino getting quite close to Ron. Dino looks very quick, I've got to say, down the straight compared to Ron ahead of him. I think, obviously, that set of mediums is coming into play. May I take you back, by the way, to Mr. Evan Dalton's comment a little bit earlier on, and Evan saying Hards feels so much nicer than mediums, seeing well in my experience anyways, and that is why Evan is a commentator's curse as well, even though he doesn't think he might be there in the comments section in terms of CC Brain in the wall. And speaking of CC Brain, he's just at the fastest lap of the race as well. Nando, though, has got very good pace out in front. 1.8 seconds, another half a second pulled out over the last lap. Now cannot respond to him at the stage, and he is coming under pressure from Frankie. I think Frankie, though, as Krypton's been overtaken again by Tomasetto, they are absolutely changing positions in towards turns 12 and 13. Tomasetto, though, gets the job done. Krypton now trying to go back around the outside of him. It's going to remain that way, I think, for 17th and 18th position further down the field. But yeah, now up in second. Frankie is trying to gain on him. He has got DRS advantage. He's got 51% of DRS. Now up's only got 14. Frankie, I think, holding back in terms of the tyres. Maybe a chance that he might go soft towards the end, as Devon now closes in on the back of Stefano running down the straight. And further down the field, Dino, like an absolute Dino Express train, down the inside in towards turn 27, gets the job done. Through and he's into 9th, and Dino becoming a Dino Soul out on track.
Oh, things are getting worse. But it could have been worse. It could have been cheeky Nando's up front with no KFC in sight, or McDonald's. It's insane pace from Nando ahead of Nawarp, who's at this rate probably sponsored by Burger King, as we see. No.
We're going to get cut off, I think, at this rate.
Gosh. I mean, I'm seeing worse, believe me. Stefano, we should mention, just behind the well, I would say the sister car, the Alfa Romeo, but they are going to go out of the sport next year, which is going to be a real shame, because Alfa Romeo, you know, they haven't had the greatest results, no, but at the same time, it's still great to see Alfa Romeo back in the grid for a few years. They were, of course, one of the original stalwarts, the original pioneers of the sport. Won the very first race in 1950, and it's going to be sad to lose them when we come to that time. But here comes the Stefano on the back of the Alfa Romeo, 1.5 tenths the gap, and the DRS is not activated. I think he's going to be playing the mind games, but he's got to be careful. Devon's right behind him, and so is New. It's all going to be letting loose out of turn 25. On the looks of it, yes, here we go.
Oh, look at Devon. Look at Devon on the back of Stefano to the inside line. It could be 3 wide and towards turn 27.
Oh, no.
Devon down the inside line. 2 for 1 mistake. He goes down the inside of Frankie. Frankie is trying to hem Stefano into the wall there on the right-hand side. And now it could be 3 wide and towards turn number 1, with Nuth now coming from an absolute shot out of a cannon. Here comes the German. 2 by 2, Noah's Ark in towards turn number 1. Now 3 wide. Now a bit of contact with Stefano trying to go through the middle. And now Devon around the outside of Frankie tries to get the job done. This is the 3rd position, by the way. Frankie and Devon still for 3rd, still side by side, coming on the exit of turn number 4. Frankie down the inside, hems into the position, and now Stefano's trying to go around the outside of him. And now all of this lets the Kosos Dino, Aries Ron, Alberto Vare, basically everyone you can name down to 14 right into play in terms of this battle. Frankie there in 3rd, Devon there in 4th, because there's no DRS now at this part of the track. Nando leads the way now up in 2nd. All of that battling has cost Frankie a good 1.5 seconds, and that has now, I think, cost his chances in terms of a potential podium, because he has got an express train, quite a few carriages right on the back of him.
Yeah, it's time to hop on the hype train. 2 trains have combined into one massive Shinkansen. Sorry if my Japanese.
Oh, Alberto Vare! Alberto Vare! Oh, there's contact! Ron and Alberto Vare! What on earth was he thinking? He's in the wall as well. Alberto Vare, a gap as the safety car comes out, a gap on the outside coming in towards turn 22. That is why you do not overtake into that part of the track. And Alberto Vore, I do not know what he was thinking there, to be honest. Ron, I guess, closed the door on him. Alberto Vore had the run on him. But now, what this does is bring the mediums completely back into play, because everyone, I think, can now make it to the end of the race on that set of medium compounded tyres. But Ron and Alberto Vore, that contact potentially could have been avoided if Alberto Vore was just, I think, a little bit more patient in terms of his move. And if he was patient, I think that would have been still both of them in the race. Ron, I don't think, has got damaged, luckily. Alberto Vore, though, out of the race, and unfortunately, out of the points, and unfortunately for him as well, could be seen a trip to the steward's room. That was, maybe, I wouldn't say it's one of the worst pieces of driving I've seen, but surely he can do better. As a Rocker stays out, and Frankie, side by side with him, coming out the pit lane, and Frankie gets ahead.
Just barely, too. Any more and unfortunately, by the way, before I say my piece?
No, I think you're good.
Okay, so yeah, the pit stops have just happened. It's the perfect time to stop, by the way. We're just into the pit window. Nearly everyone has pit, exception Oroka, Dino, who's just pit, and
Oh, they have came in. They have came in. They went onto the set of hards again.
Oh, they have. Sorry, yeah, that's just because it's too much. I do apologise. Thank you for letting me know, James. Yeah, Oroka, the lone wolf that did not pit. Very interesting indeed. He's going to be having steaming broken tyres. Remember, he did pit on lap 1 after, I believe, a safety car, and he's still on the hard tyres here. So it'll be quite interesting to see how he fares with all the medium runners and the fresher hard runners coming in behind him. It's going to be quite interesting to start, as I said. So I think we're going to be doing another lap behind the safety car before we get going once again. It's Mercedes finally leading again after CC Brain fell down in the order. But not a 1-2 this time. Sorry, Mr. Maylander.
Lap 11 out of 25. We're about to go into lap 12 in this modern infrastructure, of course, here in Jeddah, underneath the bright night sky. Normally, a season finale. Oh, I've just had a CC cleaner. CC Brain cleaner, potentially. If you've ever used C Cleaner on your machine, it's just had a pop-up. I think it might have just updated potentially in the background. So if it does go, the stream does go off for a second, you know what it is. Nando out on top, though, now up in second. Frankie there in third. Everyone now, of course, back under the safety car. Back to what I was saying about Alberto Vore. I wasn't meaning that it was probably one of the worst pieces of driving I think I've ever seen. Just patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. He should have waited for that move. If he would have waited, they could have gone side by side in towards turn 27.
Oh, no.
Alberto Vore, though, is out the session. Obviously, he's already retired out the race. And Ron back into the pit lane. So Ron now hopefully going to be hopping on his wand and hopping up the field to try and win. That was terrible.
Yes, indeed. Sorry, what?
I'm saying that was terrible.
What was terrible?
I was trying to get a Ron Harry Potter pun in there, hopping on his wand. No, it didn't work.
I mean, to be fair, we had a Harry driver in WOR PlayStation, so... And we're probably never going to see a Hermione one, unfortunately. I don't want to delve into that. Anyway, so this has actually been bad for Nando and Navor. They had massive leads before the safety car came out and the chaos that happened behind them, but... You know, there's always a chance they could build that lead up. They had a fantastic start in the safety car after CC Blaine's misfortune, and broke away from that moment on after Frankie was squabbling with the likes of Devon and I remember who it was. It was Devon, it was Stefano, I believe. Yeah, Devon and Stefano, Nicosos, Nooth, and the like. You're probably going to get underway after they come through this second sector here. Of course. Do you believe that some of these corners here are very repetitive and very resembling other parts of other tracks in the world? Like Monza's turn 1 is mirrored. The S's from Suzuka have been botched. And maybe Austin's turns have been improved, like made faster. But yes. Here we go again. Safety car in this lap, James.
Yep, Virtual Bert Marlander is now Nando, and we are pretty much at the halfway stage in this race, so this is going to be, hopefully, very clean and very hectic in terms of a second half of the race. Closest finish I've seen around here, by the way. Mr. Tom Roberts was in the chat a little bit earlier on. Not sure if he's still here. 0.08 of a second between himself and Jensen in a league that I commentated on a Sunday night. So that's anything to go by. We're going to be in for a treat here for the second half here in F2, and Nando has absolutely burst off the start. He could be already a second clear on the run down in towards turn 1. Devon though was already on the back of a rocket though, and he's going to try and get the move done, and already sails on by. 0-0 wings, I think, there for Devon, and his wings fly in towards turn number 1. He's through and he's into 4th. The rocket there down in 5th. Stefano there in 6th. Kosos there in 7th. Everyone under a very clean start. They're all spread out like a washing line halfway down the field, with Aries becoming the cork in the bottle. But Nando, that was a perfectly judged restart. He's up into the lead of the race. Now up there in 2nd. Frankie in 3rd. Devon in 4th. And Arocco is becoming the real cork in the bottle, because Stefano now, through this first sector, nearly has a huge moment coming out of turn number 8. Goodness me, how he recovered that, I do not know. And now, turning a negative, perhaps into a positive, around the outside, in towards turn number 13. Not going to get the job done. That's what Alberto Vares should have done, I think, in terms of his move. But Stefano waits and waits and waits. Arocco now on the outside line, and now Stefano going to use it to the outside line. We saw Jake March do this earlier on. The other Ferrari sweeps on by before the corner, and Stefano through, and he's into 5th position. And now he's got a big gap to try and close. 1.4 seconds, and the Kosos now on the back of Arocco down the straight.
Yes, indeed. Here comes Nikisos in the McLaren. Of course, the sponsorless McLaren, of course, because you can't have a tobacco or nicotine brands.
Oh, it's easy.
Oh, he makes it easy. He's making it look easy. But he's got to watch. Right behind, waiting in the wings. And he's going to get past him. Who is he going to get past? Around the outside of Nikisos. Not quite.
Nice.
But he might get him at the next turn.
He should have went switchback out the final corner. He would have had the pace to try and do so. He might not even need the switchback. Here comes Nuth. The German is absolutely charging down in towards turn number 1. The McLaren on the left-hand side will turn up the timing tower just a good effect. Nikolsos messes up his line, but holds the position. He's still there in 6th. Nuth there in 7th. Just turn the UI back on there just to try and grab that little bit of a still. Dino on the back of a rocker there, but Nuth all over the back of Nikolsos, hounding the FMD driver. Hopefully this might be a sign of things to come later on in the week, because EML and Shizzy Racing Championship are coming up, and these two, I think, might be down to race again, which is going to be very interesting indeed. Nikolsos there in 6th, Nuth in 7th, and that's a rarity. 3-second penalty for Rocker as Dino on the back of him into turn 13. Not going to get the job done, maybe on the exit of the corner though.
Well, to be fair, we had a lot of penalties last night in F9 when I was commentating on the track, and it's pretty much decided multiple podium positions. But anyway, back to now, the gaps at the top 3 have just spread out massively. Devon's got Frankie in front of him, half a second ahead. Dino is going for a rocker really struggling. It's 11 lap hard, but it's going to be a matter of time until he makes the inevitable move. And you see, yes, very slow through that turn, and it looks like it's going to be plain sailing for Dino. It's going to go on the outside of turn 25. There he goes into 8th place, James.
Yeah, Black Box through as well on Firefox. The Battle of Foxes now on top though. Black Box through into 12th position. Firefox there in 13th. DRS now enabled, of course. We have had 2 laps, more than 2 laps now, after the safety cars come in. There's a Rocco, I think, is in the pit lane. Yeah, a Rocco is in the pit lane. Don't blame him, to be honest. I think he would have been expecting a safety car. Those hards only going 12 laps, and he retires in the pit lane. That's disappointing from a Rocco. Yeah, as I say, I think he would have been wanting a safety car potentially. Nando leads the way though, now up 2nd, Frankie in 3rd. The front 3 actually look pretty much nailed on at this point for a top 3 finish. Devon there in 4th, Stefano there in 5th, Nikolsos there in 6th, Nuth there in 7th, Dino in 8th, now obviously pulling away from Aries. He's on that set of hard compound of tyres, and if those mediums do not last to the end, we could see Dino, as Krypton's picked up the 3-second penalty, we could see Dino up towards the top end of the field before the end of this race. He's 2 seconds off the back. He's not obviously on the back of Nuth. They're still going to pull away at this point. But if the mediums only last 8 or 9 laps, as I'm predicting, then we've got a ball game in our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Or we've got a race on our hands, I should say.
I mean, imagine F1 car football. But yes, it looks like Ass is approaching Dino right now as we come towards the end of this second DRS zone, and the gap now. Sorry about that. A quarter of a second, and now, oh, look at that speed that Aris has got here, passing Dino for 8th position. The medium tires working out his arm, and Noof just swapped into 6th. Sorry to cut you right there in that battle, but Ares now up into 8th, and you can see Dino with sparks coming out of the back, struggling, but now up here, Nico Sauce is falling right back on News the gap. 4 attempts now, and meanwhile, Nawarp is struggling. He's probably made a mistake, and now Frankie is within 4.5 attempts. Oh, and he's touched the wall though! So he's going to lose some time, and there are now Devon's right behind licking his lips.
Errors creeping in, I think, for the front three. As I said a lap ago, they were looking pretty much nailed on. Commentator's curse coming back to hold everyone as CC Brain picks up a 3-second penalty, and that was the only driver to spun out of the top 3 in this race so far. CC Brain obviously right down there in 17th position. He'll be hoping for another safety car. I think the majority of the field will be hoping for another safety car at one point. Axane Firefox, sorry, not Firefox, Black Box I should say. Battle of the Foxes, it's confusing. 11th and 12th position. No, Mr. No Name, we'll call him. Black Box there in 11th on the back of Axay. This could potentially be in towards 22 and 23 if he has got the move done. Even before then, he will have the speed. Axay obviously hasn't got the ERS, and look at this. Black Box is going to absolutely fly on by. Black Box do. That is what Alberto Boris should have done in terms of getting the move done there. But he goes a little bit too deep, and now Axay's running into the rear wing again, and now gets the DRS. So Black Box in the end, turning a positive now into a negative because he's going to go negatively back, and Axay pushed him in the wall! Axay has pushed him into the wall! That was, I think, very, very on the edge. It's another safety car, unfortunately. I think they're not going to be picked up on the safety car either. Axay, though, slight bit of adjustment, I think, on that car has put Black Box in the wall. People might be thinking, what on earth was he doing? I say exactly the same thing. What on earth was he doing there? Contact could have been avoided. He had the outside line. It was going to be clean sailing. He was side by side with them. And then there's just one tap, either from Black Box's end or Axay's end, and Black Box is in the wall and out the race. That could have easily ended a whole lot differently if that didn't happen.
Well, at least we don't have to figure out who that driver is anymore, but that is seriously very unfortunate for Black Box. Just got tapped, and then he lost all momentum and lost grip, and it went spiraling out of control and out of the race.
Oh my goodness me!
Oh my goodness
Firefox, Jake Mosh and Thomas Seto have just nearly barreled into the safety car coming out of turn 10.
How many drinks has Bernd Mailander had? I thought we weren't supposed to drink in Saudi Arabia, that's banned.
Oh goodness me. That's why they should have actually, that's why I think they should have actually, I don't know what I was saying there. Anyways, Nando leads the way. Now up second. Frankie in third. They're not underneath the safety car. Safety car. Oh, that's what I was going to say. They should. If that safety car came out 10 seconds earlier, that wouldn't have happened. Just saying.
Exactly. The safety car should have been picking up Nando Jr. But it didn't. So, we're going to get underway again after a third safety car in about, I don't know, 2-3 laps. There's going to be some pit stops, I imagine. And Nando, no, he does the bump fake.
He's staying out.
The bump fake and Nando stays out. Who is going to play the game of chicken and go into the pits? It's not going to be Ace.
Nobody.
Or 5, I think we're going to be...
Krypton.
Nope, tonight. Let's see, he's going to go back into the planet Krypton and attach his Superman cape. No, sorry, that's incorrect. He's just going to get a new set of soft tires. He'll be coming out in, I believe,
15th. He might be.
Yeah, it'll be 15th.
Yeah, he's behind Dino at turn number 1. Dino's there. Yeah, Dino's ahead of him. Krypton there, out of the pit lane in 15th. Interesting though, he's got to set us off compounded tyres. Nicole Sauce, Dino, CC Brain. Have they also been in the pit lane actually? I don't think they have they?
I don't think so. I can't be too sure.
That's why I only saw Krypton in the pits.
Yeah, they probably pit when the safety car came out.
Might have done. Ivan Tonchik, by the way, in the comments section is saying this looks like it will turn into the TML F1 Baku race. I hope not. I really hope not. This is Jeddah.
What's on Baku?
Yeah, Baku, all our letters to people are saying 5 safety cars and about 5 racing laps in a feature race, and we had 8 safety cars because there was we had 3 safety cars in the sprint race as well, and that was only 9 laps. So there we are. Can't get any worse than that.
Indeed.
But yeah, Nando leads the way, now up in second, Frankie there in third. We are about to go on to lap 19, so it'll mean when the safety car comes in, should be 6 laps right the way to the checkered flag at this point. By the way, PSGL F1, if you do want to tune in for that and you want to escape our, which I think is very good commentary here tonight, if you do want to escape our very good commentary, you can tune in, of course, to Miss Jessica Ball and Evan Dalton. That sounds weird to say. Obviously taking to the action there in F1. Aiden Carter, unfortunately, I think is still ill. I know he had COVID on Friday, which means Logan was joining me in WOR there as well. Full fitness and health is wished to Aiden. Your game's crashed? Oh no.
Not cool.
I'm still fine at the minute. It's on your end, I think. I'm
Give me
fine.
an invite?
Yeah, I'll send one over. Give me a second.
I was just going to say, Evan was told you shall go to the ball. That means join Jessica Ball in the comms box. Sorry. no rich Mick Gala for you.
That's a good one. That's probably the best pun of the night, I think, that anybody has came up with. CC Brain, by the way, went back in the pit lane. He's come on under a fresh set of soft compound tyres. So CC Brain clearly has more brains than everyone else, potentially, in going in terms of that strategy. Compound tyre, who knows? You're back into the session, which is good. Just inform of everyone that is going through at this point. Nando leads the way now up in second, Frankie in third, Devon there in fourth, Stefano there in fifth, Newt in sixth, Ari seventh, Axay eighth, Firefox in ninth, Jake Marsh ran off the top 10. Jake Marsh in the top 10 may be going for, I think, a second point all of the season. Be great to see if that is the case. Thomas Escher, Ron, Nicole Sostino, Krypton and CC Brain are the 16 drivers still going on further down the field there as well. Ecos Black today saying Evan Dalton for PSGL F1. No, he's back with me next week, I hope. And I think that is Rudy there in the comment section saying Logan to F1. Now Logan got demoted to F9, and there's a reason why that happened, and there's a reason why he's still here. As you have left the session again, unfortunately. Maybe restart your game and then join.
Let me in.
So have you restarted
my game.
You have restarted your game. That's very strange. Have you got the invite still to use up?
Yes.
Fantastic. Keep using it because the safety car is going to be coming in this lap. Nando now the virtual Burt Malander. He's now the virtual safety car. Now up there along in second. Frankie there in third. Devon there in fourth. And now, where does Nando decide to go? It's a very slow restart, I think. This potentially going to be going through the left hand. You can see the cars there coming through on the left-hand side of your screen. I think he'll go now, and exactly that's what he's done. Nando has gone for broke once again. Now it was going to be followed by Frankie coming through the final corner. In fact, now he's made a slight mistake at the final corner. We're back to yellow flag racing, and the safety car is coming back out, is it? Nando leads the way. Now up in second, Frankie in third. We're back underway. It's all fine. Don't know what that was about. Devon on the back in towards turn number one. Nobody getting close enough, I don't think, apart from Nicole Sauce down the inside line. In towards turn number one on Ron. Gets the job done. He's on a fresh set of softs. He's going to be flying through the field early on. But Nando leads the way. Now up in second. Frankie in third. It was a well-judged start from him. Firefox is men second out of turn number three. He tries to defend there at Thomas Seto. Thomas Seto now in the back there of Firefox now. OP man against former OP man, going to be up against it here, coming through the middle part of the first sector. As now Devon right on the back of Frankie, who I think made a mistake. Frankie on the inside line of turn number 13, nearly hems Devon in towards the wall. Devon's going to try and go for the switchback out of turn 13, tries to get the job done, doesn't. Nando holds the lead now up second. Frankie there in third. Are you back with us?
Yes, I am, and I didn't miss anything. Brilliant. So it is Nando by 1.3 seconds, then Frankie 1 second down on the warp, and he's got Devon for company, and unwanted company, as well as Stefano just behind. This could get very, very interesting once the DRS is activated, but it's Nando well in the lead. His pace is second to none. The warp is also up there, but he's actually lost time to Frankie, about 3/10, and he's actually not getting up there. It's really not helping, but he's now within.
Oh my goodness me!
Fun, and that's probably the end of his chances. Ron was side by side with CC Brain. Sorry, I get the two Mercedes confused. As his battle with Nicholsos and Firefox going into the first corner. Nicholsos takes 10th place already, and Kryptonite retires from the session. That's very unfortunate for our fellow admin Kryptonite. Sorry about that, buddy. Hopefully next week is better for you. This is getting very interesting. Nicholsos is making his way up the order. Maybe he could go for the podium.
Yeah, potentially so. Dino on the back of Tomasetto. Apologise, by the way, if he just lost you there slightly. But Dino, really good run on Tomasetto. Coming out of turn number 12 and 13. This is further down the field. Currently for 12 and 13. Dino tries to go all the way around the outside. Tomasetto's into the back of Firefox. He's collected by Dino. Dino, I think, has got left side unplate damage as well. Firefox there. The battle, the ghosting system once again fails here. Krypton has left the session. Firefox though in the wall. Left side unplate damage, I think, on the car. Certainly damage, I think, for Dino on the left side unplate as well. He got cascaded into as a result there. Nando though leads the way. It's 1.5 seconds. Now up there in second. Frankie in third. Look at further down the field though. Nicole Sauce was right on the back of Jake Bosch. Now he's going to have to be fighting on the run up the hill in towards turn 25, 26. And Firefox is on for timing out on track.
Ooh. Against the rules, you'll get penalised for that. He will get penalised for that. What is going on here? Nicholas Sauce trying to make his way out the order. DRS enabled as Nando across the line, but it won't be until next lap. But I don't think Nicholas Sauce needs it. He has the pressure tyres, gets right past Jake Mark like it was absolutely nothing. And what has happened, James? He had a massive shock to your life.
Thought Stefano was going to launch it down the inside line. Dino's retired into the pit lane there as well. That's what you're supposed to do out on track. Retire into your pit box, retire into the pit lane. And Dino there has retired and just done that, which is really good to see. That is what drivers should be doing. We're only down to 13 drivers now, and there's a potential that Tomasetto, CC Brain and Ron can still potentially pick up points here tonight, but it all depends on what happens in front of them, with now limited running potentially. If there's a safety car still, could still get a couple of laps under the safety car, but at this point Nando leads the way. Now up there in second, Frankie in third. I'm going to say it again, I think the top three look pretty much set in stone. Devon is quick though, down this middle sector. Devon, Red Bull, is quick. Red Bull will give him wings, and will it get him passing towards turn 27?
You just had to say that, didn't you? Anyway, Nicholas Sauce's gap to Atse has been cut down to 7 tenths, and in fact Atse has not had a great turn there at the final chicane, and now the gap gets smaller and smaller and CC Brain makes a move on Tomasetto, who may lose his title chances, and Nicholas Sauce, look how close he is already to Atse. Not only has he got soft tired, he has DRS to boot, and 3/10 second gap as it routes across the line. Here it comes! This is just plain sailing by the looks of it, and it is into turn 1. He's now into 8th, but I cannot see him.
Atse gets a switchback! Nicole Sauce, if he didn't recover that, that would have been him and Atse in the wall, both out the race.
Yeah, it would have been no points, but they have survived. Very close calls here. They see Nicholas Sauce is pushing, and I can't really see him going further up the order now, unfortunately, with that big of a gap to make up. Devon and Stefano right behind on Frankie, who needs the points to make as big a gap as he can, to capitalise as much as he can on Ricky, who crashed on lap 2. A very disappointing night for him. It was indeed. But here we go. Devon right on the back of Frankie now. Here we come through the next DRS zone. This is going to be very interesting indeed. How is it going to play out? I don't think there's going to be anyone getting close. I think we're going to be looking at turn 25 and 26. They're actually getting very close now as I speak, James.
They are indeed. Devon, though, I think there's going to come under pressure from Stefano, because I don't know what wings that Ferrari's running. He's catching right on the back of Devon. I thought Devon was quick in a straight line, and Stefano sends it down the inside line. This will be a brilliant move, but I think he gets it too locked up on the brakes, and Stefano there nearly spun into the back of Devon. Luckily he didn't, and now Nuth is going to absolutely wet on by. Down it towards turn number 1. Nuth through and he's into fifth. Stefano there, and there's a yellow flag, and that's Tomasetto on the wall.
And that will be his title chances over, I fear. He needed the points tonight. He needed to hope for some capitalism, but it's not going to happen. Stefano right behind Nuth. I think that's Tomasetto's chances of winning the championship over, I fear. He needed the points, as I've said, but now Stefano right in the back with Nuth. Got to be very careful. He makes one mistake. By the way, he's running his 74 number on a 75th anniversary draft. How we make the way towards the upper end of the circuit. The gap stays about 3/10, 4/10, but it is a huge train, and Frankie needs to hope he doesn't get a penalty, or he's going to fall right down the order.
Yeah, Frankie there in third, doing good. CC Brain, I think, has had another spin coming out of the middle sector. He's coming through. As Devon's right on the back there of Frankie. Frankie is just out of DRS range. Luckily, he's got enough ERS to try and use up. Tomasetto now puts up a 3-second penalty. I think an avoidance there of... he's right down the back of the field even, so ignore what I was going to say there. Devon, though, under pressure. Nuth made a mistake as well. Nuth's now off the back. And Devon, look at this pace from the Red Bull. That Alfa Romeo, I trust you, is running ERS and is running DRS down the straight, but Devon closed them in. Must be running 0-0 wings. The Red Bull now on the back, running down in towards turn number 1. Now what was going to come under pressure, I think, down in towards turn number 1. But here comes Nuth. Look at the speed of Nuth! Flying on by Devon. Here he comes on Frankie as well. And I thought he was going to go for the move, but he didn't. But Nuth goes into fourth. Nuth, honestly, I thought Devon's wings were good. Nuth must be running 0-0 gravity, let alone 0-0 wings.
You're right. 0-0 gravity. The final lap, by the way, Nando pretty much doesn't have to make a mistake. Actually, he can take a 3-second penalty and still win the race because of all the battling happening behind him. I think the warp may be safe for now, but then again, commentators' curse could prevent that from happening. Devon chasing down Nuth. He wants that position back, and there's CC Brain out of the session on the final lap. He wasn't near the points anyway. Very unfortunate to see him score a goose egg once again. But now Devon right on the back of Nuth as he comes through the chicane. And here he comes, right on the back of James.
This is going to lead up, I think, in towards turn 27, because if I'm in Nuth's shoes, I'd be realising I've got the pace over Frankie. Look at the speed, the last lap around, in towards turn number 1. Nuth absolutely flew on by Devon, and now with 10% of EOS, here he comes once again on the back of Frankie. I think Frankie's just got too much ground on him. In towards turn 27, Aries and Stefano are going side by side. Around the outside goes Aries, through into 6th, good recovery from him, in through the final corner, and Aries nearly goes into the back of Devon. Oh my goodness me, and actually Stefano picks up the position. Nano on the run to the line though, here wins in Jeddah, now up there in 2nd, Frankie there in 3rd, don't think we're going to get a photo finish from anyone, now up there in 2nd in the end, Frankie there in 3rd, a great end to that race, and what was a very fraught in terms of instant sort of race. Ron's coming across the line there to finish 11th and outside the points. Jake Marsh, by the way, just to let you know, he picked up his 2nd point total of the season, which is good to see. Only 1 point, but I think he will be over the moon with that. Thomas Hesse will wait on to come to the line to finish in 12th position, a race that he will absolutely want to forget. Think, though, he is trying to go for that fastest lap point, potentially, in terms of that. He might do.
Don't take the fastest lap, 1 point.
129.8, he's miles within inside. Tomasetto on the run to the line. Going to take 29.5, I think, from Tomasetto. Oh!
Yeah. Happened.
Tomasetto, I think, said a 29.545. I think I saw that.
Yeah, that's quite sad. I think Nando's going to be very furious over that fastest lap being stolen from him. So it will be 16 points for Nando. I was about to say Nando got the fastest lap too, but that didn't happen. Please, this is why we shouldn't have the fastest lap in my honest opinion. But anyway, never mind. There we go. Nando, you're winner.
Big C there in the chat is now probably just watching and probably thinking, Logan, you're never coming back to F2 ever again by saying that. Nando, though, out on top. Nando, though.
Opinion.
Yeah, you're entitled to opinion, I'll give you that one. Nando, though, out on top, a fantastic win. In the end, I thought a little bit rather dominant, to be honest. He controlled the safety car. The safety car restarts, I think, really helped him in terms of his confidence tonight. Clearly liked the track, clearly had a good setup, and clearly took the win out on track there from the Williams, his old rival, of course, now finishing there in 2nd. Great race, I've got to say, though, here in Jeddah. And Jake Marsh, by the way, did get driver of the day award the ad by the in-game fans. Nando, though, takes the lead, takes the win, I should say. Doesn't take the lead in the championship. He's miles off. Now up there in 2nd. Frankie, though, does take the championship lead. He goes from, I think he gains 10 points tonight, so it's a 9-point advantage over Ricky going into next week there for Frankie in 3rd. Nuth there in 4th. Don't know what wings he was running. I'd want a piece of them, to be honest. Devon there in 5th. Stefano there in 6th. Aries there in 7th. Nicole Sosa in 8th. Axel there in 9th. He was rather unfortunate, I thought, in this race as well, in 9th. Jake Marsh there in 10th, 1 and 11. Tomasetto in 12th. They were the only finishers. CC Brain, Dino, Firefox, Krypton, Blackbox, Mysterious Man, Aroka, Alberto Vare, and Ricky. Unfortunately, didn't even really make it to the end of lap 1 in terms of his instant right down at the back end of the field. A bit of a comment as well from Blackbox in the comment section. I'm not sure if he's still here. Ricky dives me from 2 car-lengths back and takes me off. Axe crashes me on a straight. Taken out for the 7th time this season in PSGL, and they wonder why I'm so low in the standings. Well, I say these very good words, I think, on stream, as we are obviously going to conduct some interviews very soon. I think drivers, if they have made incidents, obviously need to get their act together. I know all of these drivers are capable of very clean and very fair driving. That's what I want to see. That's what Logan wants to see. That's what Evan wants to see. That's what all of the commentary team wants to see in any sort of tier, especially here in F2. And I think it's what the stewards want to see. It's what the admins want to see. And it's what you guys want to see at home as well. You want to see clean, fair racing. You want to see us lose our voices. And if that's not the case, it's not really a good race.
Yeah, quite unfortunate for Black Box that it's just racing can be so cruel. That's all I'm gonna say. Racing can be so cruel. It can turn your world upside down if everything goes wrong. And for a driver like Black Box who has suffered so much, you just hate to see it. You just hate to see it. It's probably the worst thing that can happen, other than Ferrari screwing up your strategy. But you know, we've seen that enough. I think you should get the interviews though.
I am just literally messaging them now. Give me a second. Oh god, I've put an arrow instead of a question mark. There we go. But if they don't want to, obviously it's fine. We don't want to really take much time out of their lives. We have finished rather early though. Nando is typing. I think Nando's been in the commentary box before. And he's had an interview, I think, before this season. I've just been tagged, by the way, by WR. Thank you very much, WR, for that live stream notification that you just brought to me. Nando saying he has to eat quickly. Sorry, guys, that is totally fine. As I say, we are taking time out of their lives. Nude saying congratulations to Nando. L Plan was in full effect as well. And yeah, L Plan, I think, was really and truly in full effect out on track. And yeah, not sure who might have been Lonzo or Ocon. Certainly, though, it was a good, strong performance from Alpine, and they are bound to go up there in terms of the constructor standings as well. While we wait, obviously, for responses to come through, we have, unbelievably, only got 2 more races left in this season. As I say, Evan Dalton hopefully going to be poached back into the commentary box for F2 next week. The Irishman, of course, replacing the Scotsman. No offence, I prefer both of you equally. United States Grand Prix, of course, in Austin, Texas. And then we go home for round 11 in the championship, across the pond, as they say over there in America, to the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. Of course, we're not being charged £519 to try and go there in real life. We are being charged absolutely nothing, and so are you guys there. Apart from a like, comment, subscribe, and tick the notification bell, of course, if you're brand new to the channel. Looking through as well, nothing nothing else has been said, I don't think, in the chat. Give them a couple of minutes to try and respond. If not, obviously, then we will end the stream here.
I have to mention, I got my Silverstone general admission tickets 3 days for £299. Times 2 because I had because I'm bringing my father along. So yeah, I actually got it for £299, not 519.
519, I think, was the price I saw for 3-day pass for the general admission.
General admission was 519.
Yeah, I'm sure it was like 419. 3-day pass was like £499, but I swear I saw it go up to 519 on Twitter. So I might be wrong in that, but yeah. But plenty of people have been in uproar about the tickets, by the way. That's why I'm not going to the British Grand Prix. Why go to the British Grand Prix when you can watch it for free or listen to it for free on BBC Radio 5 Live like I do?
No. It's better experience. Then again, you've got Hungary, which is £100. By the way, we should be waiting for the drivers. I don't think they're going to be... Yeah, Nawarp's off, Nando's off. I don't think we're going to be hearing from Frankie, because I don't see him in the waiting room.
Yeah. Frankie normally doesn't hang around, to be honest.
Yeah. By the way, just remember, buy GT Omega stuff and join Grid Rival as well. I have to mention them. We're contractually bound to do so. They provide a lot of support to our league. We well, I wouldn't say we need it. We are grateful for it. Very grateful for it. And of course, let's hope this partnership lasts forever.
Yeah, I was right, by the way. I'm just looking at Silverstone now in terms of their prices. 3-day weekend is £559 now.
Gosh.
If you want Friday for the 1 day, it's £129. Saturday 1 day, if you want for qualifying, £179. And Sunday, £639.
Gosh. I can't believe we went from a discussion about F2 to a discussion about ticket prices. This isn't the bloomin'. This isn't Soccer AM, for goodness sake.
General admission sold out £319 as general admission. So that's sold out. And in fact, 3-day weekend is sold out as well from £389. If you do want Club, Silverstone and Village enclosure, £939 you've got to fork out at His Majesty's expense to obviously go on sale. They are both on sale now. And Abby Beckett's Club Corner's coming soon. Club Corner C is last few remaining. The Hamilton Straight is on sale as well. And yeah, you're going to be forking out a lot of luxury. However, though, if you're an under 2 and you're watching the stream, you go free. So there you go.
Just to let you know as well, we plan to sell tickets at Silverstone for PSGL as well, but because we're a small organisation, we're going to get a bigger... No, we're not doing that. You can watch it for absolutely free on our YouTube channel because, of course, you can't really watch it virtually from a stand because that would be... well, you could have, like, was it Second Life or something? Like, one of those, one of those virtual reality apps they probably had for, like, to replace a real crowd for COVID. You have like one of these virtual reality views of the track, but no, you can watch it on our YouTube stream. You can watch it next week. We'll be in Austin again, and then in 2 weeks' time on the 10th of October, I believe we'll be at Silverstone. Of course, I can't wait to see it in real life. I know it set me back a couple of quid, but I cannot wait. Honesty.
Yeah, I can't wait. Certainly. In terms of Austin, Texas next week, we've already been to Miami. That was round 2 of the championship. Only 2 rounds left. Frankie has got a 9-point advantage coming in tonight. We've got a picture of Valtteri Bottas, by the way, on the calendar screen. Is that an omen, potentially, for the Alfa Romeo man going into next week in the United States?
Yes. Actually, sorry, I didn't catch that question. Go again, sorry.
I'm saying we've got Valtteri Bottas on the calendar graphic that we've got up on the stream now. Is that going to be an omen for Frankie next week? Because he's in Alfa Romeo. Is that going to be an omen from next week and maybe putting one hand on that championship?
You never know. It could be. It'd be quite interesting to see if it does help him win the championship. Of course. Yes. Frankie for getting onto the lead, I should say. I just hope he gets here. I don't think he's getting here.
No, he said in the chat he's not. He needs to go at school tomorrow.
Oh, school.
School tomorrow. And unfortunately for you 10 people that are still tuning into the stream, we are now going to direct you to PSGL F1, which is now live, and I think we're coming towards the end of qualifying in PSGL F1. If you want to hear the Irish dulcet tones and the Plymouth dulcet tones going at it in F1, of course, that is, as I say, Jessica Ball and Evan Dalton taking you to the action, of course, for racing there in Jeddah. I've got to say, F1, I've got high hopes, potentially, looking through the qualifying session at the minute. You're already in the comments section, which is good. And Jess, I think, is on the PSGL channel there, which is good. And plenty of people saying Evan Dalton for F1. Yeah. He's back with me next week, so yeah, he's going to be belonging to this home. Because this will Rudy Asacombe, by the way, the top 3. Currently 26.9, 27 flat, 27.1. Brock right down the back of the field there, with still plenty of drivers still to come in their final run. So we are going to end the stream here. We're going to go off to our advertisements at the end of the stream. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you, Mr. Logan, for joining me in the commentary box, of course, for tonight. Back with it next week, of course, in F2. We go to the United States, 2 rounds of the championship to go. Are we going to see the crowning of Frankie as our champion, or will Ricky bounce back to form? Wait and see next week. Thank you so much for watching, We'll leave you in the capable hands of our GT Omega and Grid Rival sponsors. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.
This broadcast was brought to you by GT Omega and Grid Rival, proudly supporting PSGL. This broadcast